I bet everyone tuning in has heard of VO 3.1 or Nano Banana at least once, or maybe you've even messed around with them for a bit. And through that, I think we can all agree on one thing. The power of AI is blowing up in ways we couldn't even imagine. Every day, we scroll past thousands of AI-generated videos pumped out at an insane pace. Meanwhile, we're out here grinding away, sometimes barely scraping together one or two videos. So, what's the actual bottleneck here? The secret sauce for all those top-tier YouTubers out there is automation. They're running crazy optimized workflows. Literally with just one click, hundreds of videos are generated, 10xing their productivity. Today, to help you guys crack that code, I'm stoked to introduce a neat little tool called GLab Automation. This bad boy is going to be your ultimate sidekick, helping you batch create images and videos so you can cater 100% to your own creative vision. Welcome to the very first episode of our series, The Art of AI AFK. I'm Ernest. I'm here with one simple goal: to turn all this nerdy, complex tech jargon into a few easy clicks, bringing automation right to your desktop. Let's dive right in. I've dropped the download link right down in the description and the pinned comment. As you can see on my screen, I've got the site open. You just need to go ahead and smash that download button. Scroll down a bit to the Assets section and grab the latest GLab Automation zip file. The system will start downloading it to your rig automatically. Make sure you guys use WinRAR to extract the files. Alright, all done. Let's boot up the app. Sometimes Windows Defender or your antivirus might get a little trigger happy and flag this as an unrecognized app. But don't sweat it. We've thoroughly checked this thing out. Whether you run it through Kaspersky Bitdefender or ESET, the results always come back 100% clean and safe. When that warning pops up, just click more info, and then gently hit run anyway. And you're good. The interface is going to ask you to log in with Google, so feel free to just use your personal account. We've got 3 tiers to consider here: Free, Plus, and Max. The breakdown of the differences is already listed right there on the chart, so just pick whatever fits your actual workflow. Once you select a plan, a QR code will pop up. Just scan it to pay, chill for a minute or two, and the system will activate your account automatically. Right now, we support local bank transfers for My Bras in Vietnam, as well as international cards. Now that we're activated, let's hop into the preset setups before we get our hands dirty. First order of business is linking your Ultra account. Click on Add Account, and a Google Labs window will pop up. Just sign in like you normally would. Give it a few seconds for the system to renew the data. And boom, your Ultra account is neatly hooked up in the system. Next stop is the Proxy pool station. This step is absolutely crucial for dodging that annoying 403 error, which happens when Google flags your IP for spam. Reason number 1 is usually your IP is sending way too many requests. The fix for that is to continuously rotate your IP. We can use proxies, a VPN, or a VPS. I'll drop a few links for some cheap options down in the comments if anyone needs them. Once you've copped those, just paste them into the text box, make sure the format is right, and turn on the global proxy pool. Want to get more personalized? You can totally set up individual proxies for each account by hitting that little eye icon on the right side of your Google account, checking the config box, and plugging in your specs. Besides proxies, the software also has Warp built in, which is basically a free VPN. To use it, download Warp from their main site. Links in the description. Install it, and hit connect. Remember to toggle on the auto-rotate IP on 403 feature. The app will handle the rest whenever it hits a roadblock. The second reason for a 403, even if you're already rotating IPs, boils down to the quality of your account itself. Domain-type accounts are getting heavily scrutinized by Google right now. Trying to do this manually with a paid Proton VPN is a massive headache. For the smoothest and most hands-off experience, you really should invest in an Ultra Family account slot. This means using your legit main email to join a provider's Ultra Family plan. I'm already running this setup, so I'm going to go ahead and skip the Proton VPN configuration. The General Settings tab is where you tweak the language, and the Logs section is your little corner to track all ongoing tasks in progress. If anything bugs out, just pop in here to troubleshoot and figure out what's wrong. Alright, let's mess around with the image generation feature. Up top is our model lineup to choose from. Nano Banana, Imagen 4, and Nano Banana Pro. I'm going to go ahead and use the Pro version for that crisp quality. Next up is resolution. 1K, 2K, or 4K. The higher the res, the longer the wait time. I like to keep things snappy, so I'm locking in 2K. Quick heads up, when you select 2K, the 1K box doesn't turn off automatically. If you leave it, it's going to render both versions. I'm going to uncheck 1K so it doesn't get too cluttered. For aspect ratio, 16:9 is your landscape and 9:16 is your portrait. I prefer the landscape look. As for the number of images per prompt, picking 1 gets you 1 picture. Picking 2 gives you 2 options right off the bat to compare. I'm all about speed today, so I'll just stick to 1. Concurrent threads depend entirely on how beefy your PC rig is. I'm confident in my setup, so I'm cranking it up to 6 threads. Instead of waiting ages for each prompt one by one, the default mode, the machine will flex and process all 6 commands at the same time, totally optimizing your precious time. For reference modes, we've got 3 paths to take. Default, the most straightforward, what you input is exactly how it runs. One for all. It takes the image from the very first prompt and uses it as the blueprint for the entire batch that follows. Sequential, back-to-back style. The output of the previous prompt becomes the baseline reference for the next one. So what exactly is seed lock? Basically, you assign a name to a character, and that specific identity is maintained across every single frame. Character consistency is heavily preserved. Moving on to the file import zone, you can throw in TXT or Excel files. Both work super smooth. Just make sure every line is a distinct prompt. You guys can also tweak how the system reads your input, either treating a whole paragraph as one prompt, or taking it line by line. The reference image folder feature is pretty slick. Just point it to your asset directory, and if your prompt mentions the exact file name, the system will auto-fetch and drop it in. For saving your files, there are 3 options. Dump everything into OneDrive, no subfolders, organize it by queue tasks, or isolate every single prompt into its own folder. Once that's sorted, just pick your output path based on your personal preference. The Add to Queue button is the final step. Once you paste all your commands in, the system recognizes it as a task, neatly queues it up in the manager, and runs them sequentially. So that's the preset setup in a nutshell. Down the right edge, we've got a few small but mighty tools. Add line, for when a new idea suddenly pops into your head. Add image, to manually insert assets for subject 1, 2, 3, or to assign a scene or style. Check one more box, and it applies that to the whole campaign. Of course, we've got the delete or clear all buttons for when your queue gets too bloated. The retry errors button is an absolute lifesaver, helping you reboot any failed commands. Or you can just manually check the boxes on the left to force rerun whatever specific item you want. The load session button is like a time machine, saving all your workspaces from half-baked to fully complete. Whenever you need it, you can call it right back. The filter tab helps declutter your view. All pending, generating, completed, and errors. Keeps things super organized. Alright, enough theory. Let's jump into 2 real-world combat demos. Scenario 1. A side-by-side face-off between seed lock and no seed lock in default mode, so you guys can easily pick the option that fits best. Scenario 2. The ultimate tier application, creating a scene builder. We're going to stitch frames together, ensuring absolute consistency from the environments right down to the actors. Here's the game plan for Demo 2. Step 1. We forge the base image. Step 2. We use it as the raw material to construct our scene builder. I'm going to run default with no seed lock, and default with no seed lock, but calling out the reference file names. Why no seed lock? Because we already have our bait images. Using seed lock on top of that is just overkill. But hey, if you've got time to kill, go ahead and test it out to see if the output looks any different. In this second stage, I'll also throw in the sequential mode, so you guys can really feel the smoothness of a scene builder when frames are born back to back. To brainstorm and write prompts, just lean on ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever generative AI you're most comfortable with. My team actually prepped a mini tool specifically for the scriptwriting phase. My workflow is like this. Dissect the tone, define the video style, draft a text script, and then let the AI mold it into a detailed storyboard and generate the voiceover. Finally, the AI itself will extract the image prompts. Even making the thumbnail, writing the description, and coming up with the title is totally automated. Our only job is to bundle it all together and hit publish. Enough rambling, let's get into the action. After some waiting time. Finally, the finished products are fresh out the oven. Check out the comparison between the seed lock and no seed lock versions, guys. Now moving on to step 2. We've got our character sheet in hand. Just stick to this method to make syncing everything a breeze. Make sure you rename your image files so they match your image prompts perfectly. Take the time to do this manually, and be super careful not to use duplicate names. Otherwise, the machine is going to get confused and grab the wrong stuff.
A few moments later.
Reviewing the results. The concurrent option with a base image gives really clear consistency for the environment's styles and characters, but it doesn't quite capture the seamless flow of a scene builder. Mode 2 is a different story, running it sequentially with reference images, plus waiting for the previous prompt's output, guarantees that scene builder continuity perfectly. Even so, this is still just scratching the surface when we port this over to making actual video content. Anyway, let's wrap up the image generation side of GLab automation for now. We've skimmed through all the most crucial features for making images in this tool. In the next series, I'll deep dive into the mindset of what makes a truly professional frame. If this video hit the spot for you guys, why not toss me a subscribe to keep the fire going so I can pump out more vids for you? Oh, almost forgot, that script building tool I was just flexing is currently in alpha testing. If you guys are interested in it and want to mess around with testing the tool alongside me, drop your emails down in the comments. I'll pick 5 lucky bros to test this bad boy out with me. Or you can just hop into the Discord and ping me directly. I left the link right in the description. If you run into any hiccups or have questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment or holler at us on Discord so we can get it sorted ASAP. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.